So, Oz's weapons now stun enemies that aren't targeting her. Or now deal even more damage to enemies that are not targeting her. We'll do that. Stun. First time Ozma would go down each combat, she instead heals to full. Also increases the effectiveness of her armor. Or, when not attacking a target, Ozma will camouflage herself, preventing enemies from attacking her and granting her bonus damage. We'll do the adrenaline injector. She gets to self-revive once. That's actually huge for her. Alright. Now we'll go back to Eden. Oh, point obviation's a separate thing. Okay, let's go back to Paradise Island normally and do Inez's quest. And then we'll go with Marisol for the next quest. Okay. Let's see. Now there's a cloud of smoke on its current piece of cover or position, granting camouflage to all party members in the area. While camouflage, party is invisible. Or, when an enemy gets to within melee range of Nas, he activates the sonic shockwave in an area around himself, dealing damage and knocking all enemies down. Has a cooldown. Let's do that. This might be just a quick, essentially like turn in the quest, get Inez's mod kit, but we'll have to see. So we're at max level. I just realized that we're actually at max level.
I'm trying not to fret about these rifts so much. Maybe they ain't so off. You ever ponder if they take you somewhere?
Every time I think I'm having a bad day, I just tell myself, wait till tomorrow.
So the skills that we have are the skills that we have.
Inez, have you come back for a tune-up? I've got just the injection for that. Freezes those pesky muscles right back into place.
No, yeah, a tune-up sounds good. I got a device that might help stabilize what I got going on up on the shoulder. Ought to let me use my graft all the more often. Think you can install it?
Oh, well, this device is unusual and rather ingenious, if I may say so. Hold still, dear. This should take but a moment. There. I dare say you won't be needing any tune-ups in the near future.
Excuse me.
But I do trust you'll find an excuse to come by for the occasional visit. Where did you find such a device, anyhow? What is it, dear? You look, well, a bit like you've been stung by a terror ray. I've got ointment for that too, you know.
Tell her about, I've got this weird rash. Tell her about the lab.
There's a grafting lab way out on Cloister that was still operational. Till recently. I found it, Doc. And... Law. I ain't seen any horrors like that.
Still operating? Inez, do you feel all right? The program was shut down more than 6 months ago. Any further funding would be in direct violation of Auntie's orders.
I know what I saw. They were brutalizing folk and creatures. Paying them no mind, giving them no honor, even if they succumb to the process. The doctor there, he killed a friend of mine. And you're telling me you knew nothing of it?
Inez, I swear I didn't. That sounds Oh, Sovereign's mercy, that sounds precisely like what I would protest with every breath.
Let Inez
The
continue.
creatures they were experimenting on broke out of their cages, killed most of the staff. But you know what's worse? Keeping a dead soldier's body on display. Like a thing. I found the doctor in charge, still alive, cowering. I killed him, and let his sick aims die along with him. There's no good that can come of his work. Nothing.
But this ain't the extent of it, I fear. I need to find out who's responsible for all this.
Oh, Inez, I know you do. But with the program officially shuttered, it would be awfully difficult to ascertain which individual has the pockets to fund such a... Wait. Yes, that does shed light on a correspondence I received recently. A vice president sent a message asking for my presence and scientific expertise to discuss a unique opportunity. I found the secrecy odd at the time, but I do suppose it lines up with your discovery.
Sounds like we're looking for Rasmussen's replacement.
Ain't surprising. What's his name? Where can we find him?
His name is Willard Conan, VP of Experimental Operations. The very man who was in charge of the grafting program at its inception. He's... Oh, I know that look. If you mean to do something, I beg you.
Doc, with all due respect, what I do with him when I get there is my own damn business.
So it won't be traced back to you if that's what
If
you're
you
worried
think
about.
it's my own well-being I fear, then you don't know me at all. I will help you. Vice President Conan's office is aboard the Undisputed Claim, the flagship of Auntie's Choice. I do not know where exactly, as I've never been, but it's my understanding that you will need to present this calling card to gain entry. Inez, all I ask is that you remain safe. A terrible wrong has been done, but do not throw your life away to right it. You might seek justice via other means.
I can't promise anything, Doc, but I'll try. Thank you for everything.
Okay. Kind of wish we could still gain levels so I could improve a couple of my skills, but guess we are stuck here. Yeah, I would have loved to get medical up a tiny bit and maybe hack and science up a little bit higher too.
Commander, I've been thinking. We got the intel we need, Commander. The Undisputed Claim's our destination. When we find Willard and stop this law-damned program in its tracks, Auntie's Choice will get what's coming to them. Been doing some thinking about ending the grafting program for good. It's gotta happen. I just didn't think it would start this way. With me turning murderer. Auntie had me good and fooled. She ain't any better than Spacer's Choice. Making any of them see reason is an impossibility. Our overlords had a saying in Tau Ceti. If you got a rabid canid, you put it down before it maddens the whole pack. They used to say it about us workers, like we were the problem. It was terrifying. But now I reckon I see some sense in that saying. Retribution never came for the folk at the top back then, but it certainly can now.
I don't want you doing something you'll regret.
What if I think I already have? I wonder if this is what Ortiz had in mind when he sent me that message. He trusted my judgment, knew I always aimed to do right by him and folk everywhere. But he also knew both of us had been lied to when we joined up. The notion that our taking extraordinary risks would pay dividends. Do you think he knew this would be the final straw?
Maybe, but what matters is what you do next.
Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention.
Fair.
Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Suppose we're fixing to find out.
All right. So we're going to stay here, but we're going to go point obviation and do Marisol's quest. Do Tristan's last ability. When performing his companion ability, rather than knocking the target down, he sends slams the ground, dealing damage and knocking everyone down. Or Tristan's grenade launcher attachment gains support for a rocket, propelling him forward during his companion ability. His companion ability now deals considerably more damage and knocks the targets down for longer. Sure, we'll do that. Okay, now we need Marisol. Hi, Bandy. How are you? Oh my god, and hi, Frog. I got two streakers in a row. Thank you both for your streaks. How you cuties doing? Alright, let me put these in. We're doing good. We're doing good. Alright, where are we? What is this? So this is pretty small location, it looks like. Give yeah, it's like an oil rig. It's like a little location. Interesting.
Halt! Abide! Cease any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Wouldn't do that.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
Your head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with
what are you
Empress
doing?
Brunn straight away.
That's exactly who we're here to see.
I'm quite certain Anchoress Brunn would relish the opportunity to talk your ear off. We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Nonetheless, I'd ask you to follow certain precautions. Will you heed all requests and vouchsafe for your colleagues here? Them being unknown to us and all.
We'll mind our manners, Exemplar. I'll see to it.
Then, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome
Lovely.
to Point Obviation.
Anchoress Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grass. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
Marisol, given the security here, if we don't tread lightly, leaving peacefully might not be an option later.
Yeah, fair enough.
Law, is that Marisol? The Endpoint herself. I thought she was a myth.
Let's be on our best behavior. Don't even breathe.
Marisol, you're famous. Memo from the Exemplar. You may have noticed a higher than average number of guards at Point Obviation. Without getting into detail, our research is approaching a critical phase. The Anchoress's work must continue uninterrupted. The future of Arcadia depends on it. Should anyone storm this tower with hostile intent, shoot to kill. We don't have hostile intent. We just aren't necessarily promising.
Look, everyone! It's the Endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
Can't promise no violence if you don't behave yourself. Bathroom. Lovely. Uh-huh. It's interesting that some stuff here is labeled as, like, stealing, and other stuff isn't.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. Hope you don't mind me saying. Go on up. You're expected.
We can't do these ones. Alright. Anchoress Bird.
Doubt the Anchoress will walk away from the research lightly. May require some aggressive convincing.
Read plaque. Before her death, Anchoress Redacted launched a makeshift satellite into orbit using spare parts. She assured the Order that knowledge of the stars would aid her contemplations of the universal equation. What it actually did was broadcast an emergency distress signal. The only remaining piece of her satellite is on display for two purposes. One, as a reminder that every anchorite serves their role voluntarily, and two, as an assurance that help is neither needed nor on its way. Interesting. Meteorological attunement apparatus. Environmental changes can influence one's understanding of the universal equation. Temperature, humidity, and wind speed are all contributing factors. By closely observing weather conditions, an anchorite can forecast an optimal day for math. Scope of outrospection. While an ordinary telescope is outclassed by deep space observation satellites, they are accessible ways for anchorites to contemplate the vastness of interstellar space and their place therein. Augury focus device. Many seers and anchorites use focus devices to keep their attention trained on challenging equations. The device itself has no direct function, and most are cobbled together from spare parts. Their tactile nature calms the mind. Interesting. Orb of pondering. Anchorites use devices like this to ponder one of life's many existential questions. What is the cosmos but a series of interconnected orbs? When the enormity of their calculations becomes too much to bear, the simplicity of the universe helps an overworked anchorite center their mind and ponder tranquility. Bell of orbital redirection. Scientists once theorized that sound waves could steer the trajectory of a planetary orbit. This theory was never tested in earnest, but several prototypes of orbital bells were fashioned at 1/1,000,000th scale. Further study was abandoned since a working model would exhaust the resources of a planet and prove nothing more than its own irrelevance. Orb of greater pondering. See the orb of pondering exhibit just to the left. This orb is larger and therefore more expensive. Please do not touch. Ponder from a safe distance. Love that. Logs. Trials and tribulations. Order Research Station 99139 is better known by its shorthand appellation, Point Obviation. Yet in a world ruled by logic and reason, it would be celebrated as the most consequential order facility this side of the archive. Here, my Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection conducted world-shattering trials in feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research, harnessing the four fundamental forces to accelerate solving humanity's greatest mathematical problem. Instead of a celebration of our efforts, we faced constant tribulations until Point Obviation was shuttered long ago. Ignorant colleagues posited my trials were dangerously flawed. The firmament was falling, they claimed. The end of the world was nigh. How pedestrian and paradoxical. Had I been allowed to continue, we would have achieved ascension. Their ignorance has delayed our collective bliss. Cosmos in a bottle. Test Chamber Alpha is where the mathematical magic happens, site of the boldest research in the history of feasibly volatile atomic electrodynamics, nay, in all fields of scientism. Here we work towards simulating the entirety of everything in a chamber no larger than your average habitation module. Our Cosmos in a Bottle trials were always going to be safe, anchorite supervised, and with control experiments conducted just one level down in Test Chamber Beta. This was not reckless science. And yet we were shuttered, our aging equipment spread around the anchor hold like it's some museum of obsolete apparatuses. Perhaps I'll create informational plaques for them as a punchline for this cruel joke. Fresh start. After more than 20 years of inactivity, Test Chamber Alpha is refurbished and ready for the recommencement of our daring experiments. A shortcut to solving the universal equation is within reach. Allow me to reiterate, these are not the allegedly dangerous trials of yore. The test chamber has been remodeled into a new anchor hold for Anchoress Brune, who has exemplar oversight for all new trials. How heartening it to see a new group breathe academical life into my old research. Accuracy is their primary concern, followed by the safety of personnel. Meanwhile, I have taken this opportunity to recalculate the experimental risks, filling in any corners cut in my initial round of research. Best to settle your affairs and feed your domesticated animal companions now, colleagues. Soon enough we shall all achieve ascension. Interesting.
Oh, who's this?
We remember you.
Yes, I remember you. We met earlier at the site of my former seclusion. I've heard much of your exploits since. If I recall correctly, you helped prove Anchoress Chow's argument that violence is sometimes necessary. I admit I have modified my stance toward that more recently. I understand your actions led to Seer Wiley's unfortunate demise. Such a bright boy, such promise. And as for you, I've been informed that you're Marisol Delgado. I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist?
We came here after finding Anchorite Cho's body, and your manifesto posted
It
nearby.
was more of a disputation as a scholarly objection than a manifesto per se, but why quibble? Anchoress Chow is very much against it. Her accident was quite tragic. You saw the disputation, though. Tell me, what did you think? You read it, yes?
It's over to willful evidence of both title sheet and Oxford commas.
You're right, it did. Normally I'm the soul of fastidiousness, I assure you. I hope you can forgive my unconscionable error as I summarize my main points.
We'll overlook it this one time. Go on.
Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work.
How did you hear from the monastery? Exemplar Southworth was involved?
Yes, we have Grace, that is, Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researchers' theories.
Really? Seer Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
How unexpected. She's always such a
Yes, we're
surprise.
so very pleased to have her. If you thought her work before was captivating, wait until you hear the experiment she's overseeing now. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming.
She's just downstairs?
Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Seer Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
Interesting. Research observation.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take?
Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review my work.
Test chamber controls. Purge oxygen and initiate experiment. Oh dear. Logs. Big picture. Feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research is a controversial field. Many a tenured colleague have dismissed it as junk scientism, yet they simply lack the cognitive capacity to understand its underlying principles. We focus on the smallest of small things, the fundamental building blocks of the universe, to weed out anomalous variables and extrapolate the necessary inputs for solving the universal equation. In layperson's terms, we create a big picture from a small one with the hopes of accelerating our academical voyage to ascension, if only others in the order also saw the big picture. Back to work. Scientism marches on. After more than 20 years in mothballs, the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection is reopened for business. Seer Bujold's feasibly volatile atomical electrodynamics research is back on track with my exclusive reclusive attention. Trial preparations in progress. Point Obviation has that intoxicating new equipment smell, while Bujold's original and apparatuses are on display in the anchor hold as a monument to her life's work. We are ready for the boldest experiment of all, to spawn a mini-universe to simulate and solve the universal equation speedily, safely, and most importantly, accurately, or at least within the margin of error. I'm highly confident no catastrophic flaws will be revealed.
Head Intercessor Delgado, what an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again?
Hold on, what are you even doing here?
I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way.
Remind me again what's at stake?
You don't remember us discussing this before Winter's Grasp? Too many competing crises, I guess. All right. Years ago, I was kicked out of the Order for research deemed dangerous. A means of sidestepping much of what's presumed required to solve the universal equation, using a series of reasoned shortcuts and educated postulations.
The idea was, theoretically, it would hurry the process along, so the equation could be solved in our lifetime. It was completely unorthodox.
Since then, I calculated what might occur if my work was completed. And there's a big chance of subsequent events leading to a universal end. So the stakes are everything.
When we destroyed the original copies of her research at Winter's Grasp, I discovered someone else was continuing her work, which led us here.
Yep. Okay,
The
continue.
test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macrowaves, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment.
Okay. What does muck with entail?
All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Okay. Hopefully, no one notices.
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Hopefully no one notices my creaky knees. Okay, Novice Ephraim, oh god, Empiricist Pelfrey. This can be used to send an Alta Vitae sample from here into the experiment test chamber. A pre-configured sample is on hand, ready to be sent at the appointed time. Its nucleon levels have already been precisely configured to coax simulated life from the primordial soup of the microuniverse. Do not under any circumstances combine it with an unconfigured sample or send an unconfigured sample in its place. With your lack of training, both would be obvious, but especially if you simply sent an unconfigured sample. Yours in science, tenured actuarian Himmelfarb. P.S. I am unaccustomed to having to particularize in such a degree of pedantic detail, but recent misinterpretations on your part have convinced me it's required. So I can send in weirdly, inexpertly, or just purely unconfigured sample. So there's the unconfigured sample. Pre-configured. Okay. Combine the samples into something particularly strange. Let's try this. Weirdly reconfigured. Okay. What do we got here? Examine. Notice, note, once locked, the N-ray settings will no longer be modifiable. Read the instructions before doing so.
All solutions proceed.
Examine. As one hopes you should recall, N-rays act as a capable proxy for the cosmic rays that constantly bathe all matter in our universe. For our present experiment, N-rays must be fired continuously through the tubes leading to the test chamber in order to provide desired test results. Failsafe measures that maintain this stream are accessible in the ventilation shafts. Therefore, the failure of a single failsafe should be acceptable, but this has been untested thus far and could cause the stream to vacillate in a wild or uneven manner. Please note that if it's necessary to temporarily interrupt the stream, use the failsafe switch in the room and not the one in the ventilation shaft, because if something goes wrong, it's more difficult to detect the one if the one in the vent has been thrown. Okay. I already threw the one in the ventilation shaft, so I'm hoping that's correct. Examine. Ideal setting 300 parts per million. These uranium pumps do not alter. Okay, as I repeatedly stated, it's an inordinately tricky matter to set all components of this test in the correct manner to simulate a functional micro-universe. Even the slightest error could undermine our vitally important efforts here. For the seemingly infinite time, maximum uranium flow is absolutely required for the highest probability of experiment success. If the flow is less than 500 gallons per minute, test results will be entirely skewed. Examine. Locking final settings should only be done after uranium flow quantities have each been carefully evaluated.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity, Command.
Ah, I see. Okay, so I've got 3
Hard to get in a good sleep
flows.
These constant permutations upsetting
So this one is 300. This one's 200. This one's 400. So we probably want, like, yeah, the lowest possible change. We got here. Weird looking rock. Oh, hi Marisol, you scared the fuck out of me. Okay. It's almost impossible to create the specific electrochemical reaction necessary to simulate the wide array of elements needed to populate the microuniverse. An exquisitely well calibrated amalgam of metallurgical elements has been placed perfectly inside the macrowave in preparation for the experiment. Just leave it alone, please. This panel connects to the macrowave. Do not attempt to rewire the system and alter the wattage of the device. I promise we will find ways to put your engineer skills to use in future experiments. Okay. So, I can either slightly rotate the well-calibrated amalgamation of elements by 0.1 degrees counterclockwise, or put, let's do this. I have no idea if I did all those correctly. But she said she needed me to mess with all 4. Is he singing a song about Fibonacci? Not a song about the Fibonacci sequence. Oh my god.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings are final, enter the terminal command to void the oxygen from the test chamber.
Alright, purge oxygen and initiate experiment.
Did it work? Did it work? See, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up
Okay.
to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these
Let's
messages
see.
end.
What did we
yes?
do?
If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good.
It's going to involve math, isn't
All
it?
it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever
Interesting.
dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
Hi, Bear Pair. How
That's
you doing?
hyperbolic
I'm
at
doing good.
best. Data suggests significantly
How's
fewer
the,
unpredicted outcomes than
the
outright
Metroid been?
murder,
Have you finished
if
it?
properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
Okay.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
What are the potential drawbacks to a logic bomb?
Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist. And the other option would remain if we botch it.
I'd like to hear our other teammates' opinion
I've
about this.
seen plenty of folks shot. Never seen a logic bomb brain
Because
off.
you're playing it kind of
That's
slowly.
getting my vote.
Nice. Hey, slowly is good. Okay, we should try to undermine her confidence. If we fail, accidental death is our
Seems
fallback.
reasonable. Appreciate you listening. Murder shouldn't be our first option here. Too many drawbacks, both mathematically and ethically.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well.
You're in the ice area? Nice. It's going good. We're just making some progress in Outer Worlds here.
From the
I think we're going to hit the end game
you're
maybe in one more
retiring as the
stream. So
Endpoint,
we're getting there.
we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet.
This is my first brain off. Any advice?
Typical argumentation may prove useless.
Yeah, I'm excited
and
to
shall
wrap it
likely
up.
see
Like,
through
it's been a
most
lot of fun,
attempts
but
at
I am excited to
deception.
see what happens
Be clever,
at the end.
unpredictable. Surprise her. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchoress is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky
Okay.
furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchoress to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchoress realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely.
Alright, we should go.
Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
Alright, we gotta try to out-talk this one.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't
You got
arrived
this?
yet, so
I hope
please
so.
do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, hmm? Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything.
Alright, what do we got? I don't think the universe was supposed to be that color. Sir Boudreaux was very thorough, but there were some issues.
Some issues? You seem like softening the blow. Was there a malfunction? Was there some error in the calculations? Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry.
The experiment was deeply flawed on a conceptual level.
Really? In what way?
The test assumes universal constants never vary. Can you be absolutely certain of that?
Everyone knows probabilistic variance doesn't occur. That's established bedrock. Not that I spend much time in the lab myself. And, well, with science, one is never truly certain. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected. An anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say.
You didn't seek disconfirming evidence. Your approach was a self-fulfilling prophecy? Ooh. Or the experiment ineffectively operationalizes Sir Boudreaux's already iffy research.
Well, methodologically speaking, I don't see how that could... Oh. That may be true, actually. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom.
Yes, there is. More doom, more gloom. Improving the model and methodology won't fix the underlying research being bad science.
Why, I'm shocked. I'm certainly glad Sir Boudreaux isn't present to hear such a needlessly provocative and deplorable accusation. There is no call for that sort of meanness in the scientific field, and I can personally attest that it is categorically untrue. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Sir Boudreaux's research, which is quite brilliant.
I want to say you think it's brilliant because you fail to grasp all of its intrinsic errors. I'm trying to convince her to give up science, basically. Do that.
That's both incorrect and rather mean. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure.
Still sounds within the margin of error. I maintain that the underlying science is off.
Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling.
Where's Marisol to help
Yet
me
I
with this?
remain unswayed.
If I may, I
Yeah,
have
there
a
we
point
go.
I'd like to add.
By all means.
There's a critical flaw in Sir Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the
Good job,
universal
Marisol.
equation
You're brilliant.
is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. That is an interesting thought puzzle. As humorous as it is inapplicable. I remain unswayed.
We tried. Our fallback plan's our only option now. Head for the hatch.
What was that? You're starting to worry me. What do you intend to do? Ah, the experiment. There was some variance to the input data. Oh,
Alright, well. Head for the hatch. What hatch?
I'll meet you out on the landing pad. What is the hatch? Key to a point obviation ventilation shaft. Is it down at the bottom? Doesn't seem to be.
didn't understand where they wanted us to go to the ventilation shaft.
I'll meet you out on the landing pad once we're stopped.
Brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation. Get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Fibonacci. All solutions precede problems.
These just lead to the 4 experiment rooms.
Path to ascendancy is
This is just a bathroom.
Just get this
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
There's no coming back. You all should go. I'll make my way out when no one...
This is not how I wanted to do it.
Check your scope for combatant analysis.
Let's just die. Go back to the save. Okay. So, did we already do the... thing? Let's take a really quick pause here, actually. And I'll be right back. Okay. We're back. So, looks like... Let me just make sure that everything's where I left off. I'm pretty sure we're at the... I'm unconvinced.
Ah, the experiment. There was some variance to the input. Oh.
Yeah. This is the hatch. Connect ventilation between the test chambers. This limited access control system was originally devised to reroute ventilation. Well, there we go.
Fellow scholars of the Order, a tragic accident has occurred. During our recent experiment, and in test chamber beta, we failed to recognize that ventilation systems had been
Edgar,
connected to
hi.
test chamber alpha. As you know, it had been recently refurbished as a She gave her life.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchoress Brunn falls prey to an unfortunate accident right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events are unrelated?
Completely.
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician. Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado.
It's your first workplace accident and you're feeling guilty about it, I see.
Don't try to lay the responsibility for this on me. I'm not buying it. The Anchoress, poor trusting soul that she was, may have believed you were here in good faith. But I don't. You're looking more and more like enemies to me.
No, not observation. Anchor's Brun talked a good game but overlooked the shoddy science involved in the test, or... We'll do this. A biased tendency towards facts confirming a hypothesis can lead to faulty decision-making.
Oh, listen to you. You could almost pass for a member of the Order. Yet, the greater facts of this matter remain unevinced. And I remain unconvinced.
You've all put an outsized amount of faith in Sir Bujold's science.
Really? You don't say. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchor's Brun fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Let me know when you need an instruction.
Reducing enemy effectiveness. Consider self-preservation a priority. They're enough. Locking them down.
Oh, that's Miles. Niles. Well.
Regained line of sight to target.
Shooting our way out of this. I'll take those.
Bad company.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Ready to waste on your command.
You try to limit. Torpificator at rest. Torpification in progress. Grabbing enemy neural. Check your scope. Pattern analysis. Combatant scan.
Y'all need to give us some space.
Would not refuse medical support.
Alright, well. None of that went quite as I wanted, but... was seemingly the only real option.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Say, I know this was difficult and rather a mess, but you listened. You tried to do right before you did what you must. I appreciate it, the attempt. No matter how that may sound.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
That's
You
right.
forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is.
Hi, Master Roll. How are you doing?
See, maybe you are facing yourself.
Yeah,
There
Exodus
are a
looks
few things
interesting.
I'm still not used to saying.
I mean, it'll probably be a year or two before we see it,
sorry.
but
Please.
of all the trailers at the Game Awards, that one looked
Thank you.
pretty
At
interesting.
any rate, I'm off. You
This
all
game's
take
been
care
good.
now.
It's been a lot of fun. I think we're
Marisol,
near the
don't
end
be
game,
Too enigmatic or anything.
so we're getting there.
Try before I forget.
It's definitely
meant
like
to give you
an
this
improvement over the first one.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, advanced mod kit.
Anais? Goodbye.
Guess we'll never know what happened to Anchoress Chow.
Brun obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply
You're
wanted to knock
realizing
Chow
the Star
unconscious
Citizen, yeah.
so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned, feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me.
Sure you're doing all right after all that?
Not really. Not yet, at any rate.
First one was okay, but needed a bit more. Fair.
Raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Seer Bujold sure was something. Hope you didn't take any of her harsher comments to heart.
I think that wraps up everything but Inez's final quest.
Commander, I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through.
You start thinking about what happened with Anchor at Broom?
Yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. We could have done better by Anchoress Brun. If we'd properly convinced her to abandon the research, I'd doubtlessly still lament duping her, but she'd be alive. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brun rears its head, it will need to get in line.
Cogitate? Yes, to think deeply. Anyway, for Anchoress Brun's fate should fall on her and that exemplar.
Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead.
Mm-hmm. At least we won't have to worry about the universe ending now for that reason.
I hope so, at least. According to Anais, we could have reduced the likelihood of that occurring by completing the brain off. It's not anywhere near zero, but it's unlikely.
Now that time has passed, how are you feeling about how you left things with Anais?
She seemed pleased that we at least attempted to address her concerns, so I've changed, apparently. Thanks to you.
You do seem different.
It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results.
That's good.
Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
Of course. Marisol has unlocked energy storage. Marisol gains an additional charge of her companion ability, letting her store a second use. Oh, that's good. That's actually quite good. We say we pick a new pet, huh? I still like Lucy the Crabble. Party upgrades. Okay, yeah, I can't do this, but we can do these. We'll do this. Stunning Mist Dispersers. Okay. And then Marisol Advanced Kit. Marisol's pistol now charges her companion ability when it deals damage, also deals slightly more damage, or now extends duration of hostile effects on her target. We'll do this. I like her companion ability a lot, actually. Marisol gains a shield whenever you spend gadget energy. Or Marisol gains a charge for her companion ability whenever she takes damage. We'll do the shield whenever you use gadget ability. Nice. I like your new armor. Looks good. Alright, let's navigate to, I think... Oh, we need to do that, huh? Okay. We'll stay on Eden. Paradise Island. We're not even moving planets. We're just going to a different point. Alright. Catherine Nintendo plays Rico and Starship Troopers now streaming on Twitch. Huh. Interesting. Ah, crashed satellite. Okay. Guess here. That's cool. Yeah, I do kind of wish.
When I've come to respect you, Commander. Not just as a leader, but as a, well, as a friend, too.
Oh. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you.
Sometimes I think about what would have happened if DeVries never brought down that satellite.
I was into sci-fi, oh
I
yeah.
hadn't found you in time. Guess that's one thing we have to thank the Protectorate for. Their escape pods are built to last.
Looks like there's something else you want to say.
It was just me and Val for so long. I kind of forgot what it was like having someone else I could rely on.
Yeah, Niles is kind of our main, like,
been
he's
real
the
nice
first
having you on my
companion
side.
you get on this
Not
one.
to get too maudlin, but I'm used to losing the people who mean the most to me. I just want you to know I'm not going to let that happen this time.
Like towering over us right here. Not gonna let anything bad happen to you either.
It's a deal then. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. This
Lurk
can be
away,
a
yeah.
thankless job sometimes.
Thank you.
Didn't want you going a day longer without knowing how much you mean to me. And to Val, too.
Field tinkering. Let's make ourselves some more ammo. Can't make too much more of that though. It's a short round, so may have to swap weapons at some point. As much as I'm enjoying leveling up this one. Oh, I need to switch that. Yeah. Switch my timers.
Good fortune! Our technician manifests at lab. Halt there.
You're an
You
interesting
match the
one.
description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting. But as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you.
Here time, if I don't get to work, this whole reticulum could corrupt and dismantle.
That's right. A dismantling at this scale? Why, that could cause a cascade effect resulting in total deorbit of the whole Hyperion.
What? Spare me your technical argot and hop to it then!
Examine. Allows easily damaged, but its data cartridge has remained intact. Retrieve data. There we go. There we go.
Finished already?
Yep. That was easy. I keep wondering if there's going to be an option to, like, not exactly romance, but kind of romance Niles. Okay, let's see here. Still need more advanced decryption keys. We need to go back to... Let's go back to Dorado really fast. Continue here. I want to see if I can find this. Okay. For endurance. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to complete this quest for a while, so let's just look up where the remaining compression coils are. Also, I haven't been back here in a while.
Hey, damage-prone Daredevil. Welcome back. What can I get you?
Open vendor. Advanced decryption key. Recipe. Gotta go all the way down here.
Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days in Nix's orbit. Dodging protectorate patrols. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
Ah, well. That's all right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
Yeah, it's definitely over here. Question is, how do we get through this? Ugh. Edgar. Hey. No. Oh my god, really? It's gonna make us go all the way back? Let's actually go here. I think this will be a little faster. My name a reference to the magic character? Yes, yes it is. Maybe I have some anti-zeranium gas gear I could put on too. Inventory. Escape suit. I like the escape suit, but thought I had something that was like fully zeranium resistant. Zeranium poisoning is gained 50% slower. Okay, this might help. No, we're still gaining Zeranium poison, even... after crossing that. Oh, well, we're right here now, which is good. Nope. I mean, there's two right there. Alexander Station entrance. Try this. Head north along the cliffside to the east, and then follow the path through the ravine. This way is east. All right, let's see if it's this one here. I see a ravine. Well, we don't seem to have been here, so...
Ready to waste them. On your command. System outbound, Commander.
Might be this right here. And if I haven't killed those enemies, then... Yep, there they are. That was it. So I didn't have to cross that Zeranium gas anyway. Okay, back to here. There's a residue poisoning.
Welcome back. With your help, we've nearly got our last auto dock functioning again. Tell me you have more coils for me.
Here you go.
Remarkable. That is enough to get all of the auto docks back up and running. With them, we can save all the remaining wounded. Words can't begin to express my gratitude. I and all of Auntie's choice. Thank you.
Okay.
Your efforts in fixing this obsolete autodock will save 5 of lives, Commander. Perhaps even 6.
5 of lives. That's amazing. Okay. Back to the ship. Been wanting to get that quest off my quest log forever.